Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And this is my first impressions look on the Puma MB.01 LO. So this low is going for 120 bucks and the regular MB.01 is going for 125 bucks. So a $5 price decrease from the regular. So I guess this part is only worth $5, right? It is sold out unfortunately on Puma. I mean, all the colorways that came out, like this one with the red accent, there's a white one with blue accents and an all white one, which those colorways are all sick. But unfortunately they're sold out. I feel like they might have released it on like Foot Locker or something. I'm not 100% sure. But if I do find links, I'll leave affiliate links in the description box. But let's get started off with the Tracciones. And in this colorway, of course, the traction pattern is identical to the regular MB.01, right? And of course, all the colorways that I have of the regular MB.01 is just this Rick and Morty colorway. And also the first colorway that came out. They're both translucent, right? And then for the low, the colorway that I got is a solid white rubber outsole, and you would think that it would feel the same, but actually trying it on my wood floors, it feels really not good, right? So the translucent outsoles for both of these colorways have amazing bites and the traction is really squeaky and very loud, right? But then I tried the MB.01 LO on my wood floors and it's super quiet. There's really no squeak at all, and also the bite didn't seem as good, right? Of course, these are both broken in. I've played in these a good amount of times, so maybe I need to break in the MB.01 LO, but that's very, very weird, right? Of course, I've been testing shoes for a while now, and a lot of the time a solid rubber outsole can perform pretty differently than a translucent rubber outsole, right? It's not all the time, but a lot of the time that's the case, and it feels like that's the case here in the MB.01, right? And it's not just because it's a low, it's just because it's a solid rubber outsole here in the low. So I feel like, usually I don't really like doing performance reviews if it's just a low and a mid, you know what I mean? Just because it's like, what's the point? But I might need to test the MB.01 LO out, and hopefully this traction pattern does break in, but it doesn't seem very good right now, unfortunately, right? But a good thing about it is that we still have the outsole curvature, right? So of course it's pretty much the same exact shape. I love it, and it kind of like keeps me on my toes and like on the balls of my feet a little bit more when I'm playing in it. So that feels very, very nice. And heel to toe transition, of course, is the same exact feeling as the regular MB.01, and it was very, very nice here in the regular MB.01. So I mean, nice curve shape, a little bit of compression. It's soft as far as the cushion goes. The same thing here in the forefoot, right? And a good amount of forefoot flex. So yeah, heel to toe transition is probably the exact same. And same thing with the cushion. We have full length nitro foam. It's hella caged, and we can see the 3 X's right here, and also like this rubber outsole coming up to cage the cushion. And here on the medial side, it's a lot more exposed, which of course is a good thing, but overall it's the exact same thing, right? The insole also is very, very similar. I mean, it's the exact same insole as the regular MB.01, not the Rick and Morty. The Rick and Morty colorway of course has a Rick and Morty insole, but anyways, yeah, the insole is super plush. Stepping comfort is very, very comfortable, so it feels pretty much the exact same. Cord feel also isn't the best, but it's not terrible. It's like around average, right? But impact protection is really good and also feels soft, right? So there is the cushioning setup there, and also for the material is pretty much the same as well. They're using mono mesh, as you guys can see, right? Pretty much the same from the regular colorway of the MB.01 to the MB.01 LO, right? The mono mesh, exactly the same, right? So it's like it's kind of stiff, not super stiff or anything. It's not that stiff, but comparing to other uppers that are like really, really soft, like I don't know, the PG6 or the Kyrie Infinity, it feels a little bit stiffer, but also a little bit more supportive of a material, which of course it depends on like your preference, but it still feels nice on foot, conforms to your foot very, very well. It stays pretty thin in the midfoot, but here for the tongue and ankle area, there is a good amount of padding, just like in the regular MB.01, which feels very, very cozy. But I guess like the details are pretty similar as well, right? It says not from here at the bottom of the tongue. And also for the tongue, it says 1 of 1 with like the tattoo design that I think Lamelo has on his chest or whatever. And also here in the back it says Melo. right? That's all the same. And also here on the lateral side in the ankle area, we have this part, right? And that's all stitching, just like in the regular MB1. And also on the medial side, this is all fused material, and same thing with the MB1 low. So it's pretty much identical, right? It is a little bit different than the MB1 like Rick and Morty colorway, just because the material is a little bit different, and also on both the lateral and medial side of the shoe, this is embroidered onto the upper, which is a nice touch. I believe the Rick and Morty colorway was like $5 or $10 more expensive than the regular MB1 retail price, but it is, I guess, like kind of better quality materials, right? So there is the materials there is the exact same pretty much as the MB1, and same thing goes for the fit. I went true to size and fits me extremely well. Lengthwise, I was good to go. Widthwise, it's slightly narrow, and here in the toe box, it's a pretty snug fit. It's not super snug to the point where it's like choking my foot out like in the KD13 or something, but it's still a nice snug fit, and it's the same as the regular MB1, which of course I do like. But also another thing that is different is the lockdown, right? So supported lockdown, of course, I feel like it's gonna be very good. The MB1 for lateral containment was amazing, right? And same thing, I feel like the MB1 low is going to have very good lateral containment as well, just because this mono mesh is super supportive. We have fuse, we also have a lateral like cage, right? As far as these X's go, they come up to act as a sidewall a little bit here in the heel, and there is an internal TPU heel counter, right? But the problem is that I'm feeling a little bit of heel slippage, and the heel doesn't feel completely locked down to me here in the MB1 low. And of course, I had zero issues with that in the regular MB1, right? It is a mid-top, obviously, and it's kind of weird just because the mid-top design in the MB1 didn't really restrict my ankle movement at all. It just felt like a low top, you know what I mean? So like ankle support wasn't even that good either. So I feel like, you know, making a low version, there wasn't really a huge point as far as performance goes, but the heel slippage doesn't feel too good, you know what I mean? Like I was walking around and like kind of jumping around and stuff, and I definitely felt a little bit of heel slippage. It felt kind of similar to the KD15, which isn't terrible. But I mean, the MB1, like the regular one, was really good. Like I had no issues with heel slippage at all. So that definitely does suck. So I'm gonna need to play in it and see how it feels after, of course, like I play in it. And if you look at the actual foam here in the MB1 low, there is actually a good amount less foam than the MB1, like the regular one. And also it goes straight down, you know what I mean? If you look at the regular MB1, there's foam, like it comes up all the way here, like all this is foam. Like on the bottom, there's not foam, which is a good thing. So the foam can kind of like lock your heel down. But in the MB1 low, there's really no foam that protrudes out, right? There's a little bit, but not a whole lot. And it just doesn't feel like it's locking a whole lot down as far as my heel goes. So that definitely is one thing that I am worried about. So as far as the full performance review goes, yeah, I'm gonna need to play in these and see how that goes. And of course, if that is a problem, then obviously I would suggest just getting the regular MB1, because like I said, the mid-top design doesn't really restrict ankle movement that much, and it just felt like a low to me. So you basically get like a low top feel with better heel lockdown. Or if that's the case, then I would suggest getting the regular MB1. But of course, we'll have to see on the full performance review. All right, let's check the weight. I feel like it's probably gonna be like the same exact weight. Okay, so 13.62 ounces. Let's check the regular. 13.76 ounces. Yeah, so like 0.1 ounces. Not a difference really at all. The Rick and Morty is 13.05 ounces? What? Why is it so much lighter? That's insane. What? And then the other Rick and Morty is 13.19, but then that's weird. 13.79. What? Why is the Rick and Morty so much lighter? Maybe the materials? That's really weird. But yeah, let's check the other MB1 low. Yeah, 13.44 ounces. What the? 13.44 ounces and 13.65 ounces. Okay, I mean, I guess it's a little bit lighter, but I mean 0.2, 0.3 ounces, you're not really gonna notice a difference, right? So yeah, I mean, it still feels a little like heavy on foot, which definitely does suck. That's the one thing that I don't like about the MB1, is that it's a little bit on the heavier side, but it's still really nice and responsive. But the MB1 low traction is not feeling too good, and there seems to be a little bit of heel slippage right now. So hopefully that breaks in. and maybe, I don't know, I won't experience terrible heel slippage. We'll have to see on that. But the MB.01 Low from a first impression standpoint is not feeling as good as the regular MB.01. And now moving on to the aesthetics though, the aesthetics are amazing, right? This all white color with the red accents looks absolutely amazing. On foot, it looks awesome. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think looks better, the low or the regular? I don't know. I feel like the low looks a little bit cleaner, right? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, as far as my first impression standpoint, yeah, it's not looking too good with the lows, and that definitely does surprise me. So right now, as far as what I would recommend is probably just stick with the regular MB.01 if you can, and try to stay away from the MB.01 Low until I guess I've tried it out and the full performance review comes out. Also, like if you can, probably stay away from like a solid rubber outsole for the regular MB.01 as well. Just because I also need to test this out. Maybe once I break it in, it'll get better, but right now it's not feeling too good, right? So anyways, that about wraps it up. If you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.